Welcome to an episode of the BBB Sharing podcast. We're at the Ignite Sparked by BBB studios here in Glen Allen. And Evie, you're with us here all the time, and you're going to soon do all the interviews, and I'm going to fade off into the sunset. But tell everybody who you are, Evie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ignite. I'm Ignite. Well,
You are igniting
I am
the
Ignite.
spark.
First thing you see when you walk through the door is going to be me. I'm Evie Kira George, Director of Ignite Sparked by BBB here in Glen Allen, Virginia. You'll be seeing me very often every time you come by, so make sure you come see me.
So we got two special guests we're going to interview, but tell everybody right now that's listening to Sharing, what do you think about podcasting and just throwing people right on the mic and not giving them a script? Is it the Barry Moore way or is it Evie's way? What do you think?
Definitely the Barry Moore way. Not that it's not okay to ask somebody a random question on the fly, because that's how you get an honest answer out of someone.
Sure.
But definitely have an idea of who you're talking to before you sit down and talk to them.
That's great. And you don't even know who we're going to talk to. You know their names, but we're going to first go to both these gentlemen are with Richmond Times Dispatch, an old paper here in town, and does a great service for everyone to connect news and marketing and advertising, and of course the obituaries, right? And that's a big part of any town. So introduce yourself, Ken, and tell us what you do.
Yes, I'm Ken Henry. I'm the Vice President of Advertising for Lee Enterprise, Virginia, covering Richmond, Charlottesville, Fredericksburg, Culpeper, and everything in between. And you said print. We actually are a newer digital media company that happen to have a print component.
Isn't that amazing how things have changed? And we're going to go to one of the old timers like I am in Richmond, John Donlin. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hi, John Donlin. Been with the Richmond Times Dispatch for 3 years, but been in the media industry for almost 25 years.
Yeah. You've got a lot of experience and you know a lot of the marketing, the advertisers in town. And I think Ken just did I set him up for a layup because you and I started talking about 2 years ago when I started at the BBB, and we met Kelly Lemon and we met Kelly Till, and I did a Christmas video, as you remember, that was awesome. It was on your .com platform and your videos. So Ken, what is the advantages from the old print newspaper that even my generation, I'm 62, I didn't even like the newspaper, but I was unusual because I didn't follow sports. All my buddies follow sports. I looked at cars that I couldn't afford to buy back in the 70s, but that was about it. Tell us about the marketing opportunity with digital right now and how to get news digitally.
Yeah, well, with digital, again, you're not confined to any geographic area. We can help a corporation or company across the country or in our backyard. There's no limitations with digital. And we want to be and have our content where folks want to read it. So whether it's in print or digital on their cell phones or desktop computers, laptops, wherever, we just need to make sure that we can get our information to consumers so they can get it where they want it.
And as a consumer, I can buy that video content versus buying a newspaper?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can subscribe to, and our subscribers, that folks that have a subscription to the newspaper also have access to our e-edition. So if you're not home, if you're on the road, you can log in on your computer or with your tablet and still read the paper and flip through it as you would with a printed newspaper.
Got it. Evie, so in your age, what do you think about the newspaper in a digital format versus the newspaper, old paper?
So I was always the odd one out growing up. I actually enjoyed the physical newspaper. My grandfather used to read it to me. So when I stopped seeing newspapers out and about as often, it was a little disappointing. But then I went to VCU and I studied broadcast journalism, and digital journalism, especially in print, started becoming more and more apparent. And now I have on my phone like 20 different apps of digital newspapers that I read every single day. So that's become the new norm for me. And then I started working part-time for an online magazine, and my aunt would be like, "Where's the magazine? I don't see it at Barnes & Nobles." And I'm like, "It's online." You got to go to the website and read it.
Right. You got to do a little extra work. but it's not that hard.
It's not. It's actually it's really nice to be able to, bookmark articles that you like and go back and see them and not have to carry around a binder like I used to do.
And that's a big part about this podcasting too, right? We were talking, but we're going to post it up on YouTube. And Ken and John's testimony here for the media world is going to go all over, right? The more we share it, the more it gets shared. Hence is the name Sharing. So, John, when you go to marketing agencies or advertising agencies, are they adjusting to this digital idea and the digital format?
Any company has to adjust to this format that we're in right now. And I love Evie's example of being somebody who once read the newspaper, physical newspaper, and we still have physical newspaper readers. We have them online. The interesting thing is we reach more people than we ever have before. And now we have more ways than just one in which to reach them. And Ken talked about that. It's on your laptop, it's on your desktop, your tablet, your cell phone, the physical paper. We'll reach you however you want to be reached, and we can reach any of those audiences as well.
It sounds like we're really getting accommodating and listening to the customer.
We have to.
Yeah.
We have to. It's not about us, it's about the needs of our clients. And regardless of who they want to target, we need to make sure that we can get their information to the right audience, and that's what we focus on.
Right. And just so everybody knows, the Richmond Times Dispatch locally has been an accredited company. You've had different owners over the years, and RTD has been an accredited business for a long time. And so you've been vetted, and you start with trust, integrity, respect, and that's what you expect in the news business locally, right? What we want. And it's funny, all the counties you mentioned, I believe our BBB office oversees all of them. I have about 42 counties. So it's not just RTD, although I know how to spell RTD, so it's easier for me. But it's just telling a story about a great newspaper and great business partners, your sponsorships. Do you guys know, top of your head, any sponsorships you've done recently? Sports Award?
Yeah, Sports Awards. We'll have the Women Who Drive Richmond coming up.
That is coming up
in March. We've done, like you said, the Sports Awards. Best of the communities that we serve. We have events where we invite our clients and folks from the community to come in and celebrate because the consumers have voted them best of whatever they do in the market. So, yeah, and there's more to come.
Yeah. You guys are very active. And the thing we ask, and I appreciate you guys, we're inviting people in, Evie and I, inviting people in to see, walk through, understand the Ignite Sparked by BBB program. It's new here. It was in Phoenix and then San Diego and Utah. Started about 8 to 10 years ago. Highly successful. Big sponsors, people that just invested it so the doors could go open. And so I'm going to tell you very quickly, you saw the colors. What do you think about the gold and the black and the orange? What do you think?
Energy.
Bold.
Absolutely.
What else? What word comes to mind?
Bright.
Bright.
I like the boldness of the gold.
We're sitting in a studio that's bright yellow. It's got a black wall, and it's toned down a little bit. We got great signage and great statements, and that's who we are. So when I'm walking you around, I want you to understand, and Evie is going to chime in at any point in time, but what we want to do is have that direct conversation. I'm tired of going down streams and conversations. Everybody's afraid to offend everybody. Everybody's afraid to come to a real solution. We have major corporations spending big money on awards dinners and all these things. You got to put on a black tie. None of that here. We're for the working class people, and that means anybody. We're here for anybody, any size, any shape, any color, any background. We're open to everybody. We don't discriminate our brand. We vet a company. We don't look at who the owner is. We don't look at a picture. We don't profile. We look at an application. We make sure that you're going to treat the consumer and start the marketplace with trust. That's what we care about. So the RTD is accredited. The BBB seal could be right on the front page. Every day, Ken, we could do that. You could give me the top fold every day. You could put the torch. It would just cost you a lot of money. So I don't see that happening to Kelly to do that. That would be bad business. But what I do see is your advertisers that are digitally advertising or in print using the BBB seal and story that they're accredited. There's less than 400,000 internationally accredited businesses, and there's over 24 million for-profit companies. Do the math. So we're talking cream of the crop. My generation, cream of the crop meant something. So we have a story to tell. We have a story to lead with. We bring people in the future. We got a pass we're going to offer. Evie, you want to talk about that?
So we have a monthly pass, one for accredited businesses and one for non-accredited businesses. As far as how much that monthly pass will cost, that's still being determined. However, we will have events that we host, so you can come with that monthly pass, up to 4 employees for each pass that you have. In addition to that, we offer our rooms to rent out, including this podcast studio, $10 an hour. Whatever you create in this podcast studio, you own. The only thing that we ask is at the end of it and the beginning of it, you say that you're here with BBB Sharing at the Ignite Sparked by BBB studio. And then just, be respectful and enjoy the space and use it wisely.
It is $40 an hour.
40 an hour?
Just for
Well, that changed
$10
too.
out front for the other city. But again, we have a lot of different rooms that we're learning. But anyway, so that's what we're going to offer. And then the content that we're going to gather, guys, John and Ken from Richmond Times Dispatch, we're going to bring in conversations. What's one topic? Emotional?
Oh, this one always trips Barry up, emotional intelligence. But I always write it as EQ.
And we're going to invite the public in to talk about it. And the big thing is we're not going to have talking heads. We're not going to be like all these other business meetings going on. There's no talking head. There's no bobblehead. It's just people coming in with one question, ground rules set in 60 minutes. They sit around a table. We're going to record it. We're going to put it on YouTube, but they're going to come up with a solution why. And that is going to be great news content. And I see different places, whether it's TV, radio, and or the newspapers, picking up on this and actually sharing it as some of the, because you're going to be hearing from Richmonders. You're going to hear it from people in Fauquier County. You're going to hear it from Charlottesville, Fredericksburg, Brunswick County, because they're all going to be sitting in here having these conversations with us, with folks like on your team. So what is the obligation for a company to allow me to still work remotely? Big topic right now, but we're going to have employees and consumers actually talk about it. And we're going to try to come up with an answer. They're not going to know each other. They're going to get up and walk out of here. They've agreed to be on the YouTube station and platform, and they move on. And we are going to try to do 2 a day, 5 days a week, conversations open to the public. And so we might get 2 for one topic. We might get 50 at another. We're not going to go down paths that we don't need. We're going to have some of the elected officials come in and talk about, who is the right candidate to be a candidate? What does that mean before you get into it? Not party. What's the right type of person we want to see serving us? So with that, welcome to the Ignite Studios. We're going to continue the tour, but we'll end this segment. And again, thanks for participating and getting on the mic. And again, we're at the Ignite Studios, sparked by BBB in Glen Allen. Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you.
Wait, Barry.